Hello, I'm Cal, with Group 6, and I'm here to talk about the cybersecurity principles, and how some of them relate to two-factor authentication. While two-factor can be irritating at times and slow down the login process, the security it ensures validates the process of having to go through some other app or program to verify your identity. Using two-factor authentication may involve having to get a code that's sent to your email, or having to use the Authenticator app and scan a barcode. When you use two-factor authentication, this is an example of a trust relationship. A trust relationship is like when a friend vouches for a person you're meeting for the first time. Since you trust your friend, you can place trust in the person they're representing. Using this logic in two-factor authentication ensures that the login process remains simple but also secure. Moving on to another important principle is failsafe. A failsafe is a utility that activates when your main utility fails. In this case, two-factor authentication makes it a lot harder to get into your account, as even if your password was leaked, they would still have to authenticate to get into your account. Much like a firewall with a network, this is your first line of defense. Another principle used is minimize trust surface. Minimizing the trust surface is the goal to make an attacker's job more difficult, but also not create more work for the users of your system. Like previously mentioned, an attacker would have to get a hold of the service you use to authenticate to gain access to your account. While being only a minor inconvenience to you, it does make the job of an attacker much more difficult. Least astonishment also applies here. Much like the previous example, least astonishment is the idea that security mechanisms that we would employ should be user-friendly and not greatly inconvenient. It's not hard to set up two-factor authentication, and it can be done in a few minutes. Its user-friendliness, along with the security that it provides, makes it almost a necessity with online accounts these days. There really isn't any reason not to use two-factor. There aren't really any downsides. Just make sure the password to your email is unique and follows the golden requirements. I'm sure we all know them at this point. 15 characters, capital letters, numbers, special characters. I think that's it for me here though. I'm going to pass it off to Shane. He's going to explain more about two-factor authentication itself and how it works and its nuances.
Everyone always talks about how two-factor authentication is important to protect your sensitive accounts and information, but they really don't tell you why or how it works. Having two-factor authentication, or sometimes referred to as multi-factor authentication, makes your accounts more secure. The reasoning is when you log into your account with your normal username and password, you are prompted to enter a code that can be seen on a separate app on a different device, or can also be sent to your phone or email. The code that you see changes every 30 seconds or so, depending on the application used, and is required to log into your account. Even if a hacker has access to your username and password, they'll be unable to access your account without the code, adding an extra line of security. Even though you may have two-factor authentication enabled, it does not mean your accounts are 100% safe. Hackers may oftentimes use what is called social engineering to try and steal your code from you by telling you that you may be receiving a code and that they need it to verify who you are, etc. So be careful when selling things online or doing anything that includes you interacting with a stranger on the internet. Enabling two-factor authentication is a great first step into taking your personal security more seriously. It can be as simple as going into your account's privacy settings and enabling two-factor authentication to send you a text message whenever you log in. It may take you an extra few seconds to log into your accounts, but it is much better than getting your accounts hacked into.
And there you have it. That's two-factor authentication. Thanks for joining us. I will see you next time. Group 6, out.